So I meant to do this lesson for a while, but I needed to make sure that I was at the right time. It was at the right time at the right place, and I just feel like this is the right time to speak about this. So when I was coming into like knowledge of self, the first person that I came across was an elder. Her name was Mama Moot. And if you watch a lot of my other stories or story times, you know that I speak about Mama Moot. Definitely when she spoke about, bleeding on people. And essentially, when I was around Mama Moot, I would come to her and I would just like dump on her subconsciously, not knowing, right? Because I'm just getting into knowledge of self. I see a woman that seems like she was more or less like a mom figure to me. And if you're from the Caribbean, you know how hard it is to really be able to communicate how you feel towards your parents, right? Because they don't want to hear it. Just let's be honest, because that's something here that subconsciously has been brung down from them, you know? So I remember one time I went to Mama's Moot house for a lesson, and she always starts the lesson with me. Just she sits there and then I just start yapping. I'm yapping, and she this was the first lesson. After the first lesson was about like bleeding on people, right? And the first thing that she spoke about was doing a talking fast. You know, and one of the first things that she has spoke about was starting my day for an hour without speaking, right? Without speaking, whatever comes to mind, you could journal it down, all right? Or you don't have to journal it. You could just keep, just internalize what is it that's coming in and just also flow it out, right? Peace and love, peace and love. So I would love to give you guys the benefits of a talking fast, and if you're up to it, I would say start off your day with doing a talking fast. Subconsciously, a lot of us who have children, we already do this. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we just want to take our coffee and just sit down before we go into our days. So some of you guys are already doing talking fasts, but knowing this intentions behind it, you could be able to really tap in. So what is the benefits of doing a talking fast? Every day before you start doing your day is actually a very powerful thing, especially if you're trying to master your energy and focus on emotional resilience. Let's talk about the first thing that I would love to break down is the mental clarity with this talking fast. An hour is not as long. Okay, I feel like you could be able to sit your ass down and be able to enjoy this fasting in silence. This means no text messaging, because that's still talking in your mind. Crazy, right? Um, but this just means you and the universe. The mental clarity, by avoiding unnecessary talking first thing, you allow your mind to fully wake up and settle into a calm, focused state. Jumping into conversations too early can scatter your thoughts before you've set your own intentions for the day. Number two, energy protection. Words are powerful forms of energy exchange. Speaking before you ground yourself can unintentionally leak your energy to others or pick up energy that's not yours, weakening your natural shield for the day. This is very interesting because, um, when you think about it, every person that you interact with is like you or attach yourself to that cord. It's still engagement, right? Just like people just think that sexual engagement is the only way to engage, no, communicating, talking, right? So when people are communicating with you, that is an engagement, which means that you are connected to it by a cord. Um, so being able to understand your power Also gives you a good discernment as well. So the number three one is inner alignment. A talking fast helps you listen inwardly, your intuition, your feelings, your goals before being influenced by outside voices. I let your voice set the tone and you could be able to start your day. So let's talk about the importance of that. Hold on, y'all. My daughter. um but when you're able to understand that, you're able to see that inner alignment. A lot of the times we are being influenced by outside voices because that's the first thing that we're hearing, or people are projecting their own reality onto you. So your mind is going to start to sharpen more and more by the time that you start to do this talking fast. The fourth one is emotional regulation. I love this. It reduces reactive behavior. When you allow yourself silence before engaging, you build emotional discipline and start your day by reacting in environment or other people. So what does that mean, right? When you're able to understand the reactive behavior, it's like you practice. I'm gonna make sure that I say something that's not going to hurt me or hurt you or jeopardize me before I even say it. So it's like, I always say that. For me personally, now that I argue, because I used to be a person when I argued, I just dumped. Like that first things that I say is just like straight stupid because I'm just in my emotions. But when you start to do that talking fast, you have more discernment on whatever it is that you're going to say. So now I intentionally, before I give a response, I'm thinking about everything. Maybe it's a Virgo thing, but that Virgo moon makes me very specific about what is it that I'm going to say. And I also learned the importance of what you say, the powers of words, right? And if you read the Four Agreements, you know that words are spells. But imagine not only it being a spell, but it having weight to it, or light to it, or encouragement, or negative, or positive. So the intentions behind communicating is so important. I know people that a person has said one thing and it's haunted their life forever. They can never do something here the same because of that one thing that someone here had said to them. So when we are able to check in with ourselves when it comes down to reactive behavior, you understand that I'm going to think about what I say before I say it. And what I'm going to say needs to be exact. So there's no there's no need for clarity in whatever it is that I'm saying because I'm very direct in whatever it is that I'm going to communicate, right? When you are upset, the first thing that you're going to do is just say some stupid shit because you're mad. So when you're able to learn how to regulate your behavior, there is nobody that could take you out of alignment. So number four is really, really, really spiritual for me. The fifth one is spiritual connection. In many traditions, like morning prayers or rituals, silence is sacred portal. The morning hours are naturally more open spiritually, right? Definitely if you get up by like 3 a.m. to like 5 a.m. I intentionally, every rising, my body wakes me up for prayer. So I take that time for prayer around 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., even if that means that I'm putting something on while I subconsciously go to sleep that is going to help me with manifesting what is it that I desire. So the morning hours are naturally very spiritual because it's opening up that portal. And the talking fast keeps your channel clear for divine downloads, creative ideas, or a stronger connection to source. This is one thing that everybody could be able to take very, very serious. One of my best ideas, this idea came from prayer in the rising. This came from sitting with the universe and being quiet and still. So for people who be like, you know, I need someone to talk to. No, you don't. You don't need nobody to talk to. You need to talk to yourself. You need to hear what the universe got to say to you. Because maybe the reason why your mind is unclear is because you're talking too much. You're talking too much. And a lot of us, we can't be on the phone silent. You need somebody to talk to. But not everything that needs to be said needs to be said. Read the room. I could be quiet in the room with my partner, and my partner is not going to be upset. They are going to bounce back that energy without speaking, just like our ancestors did. So, this is very spiritual as well. And the last one that I would like to talk to is starting your day with a talking fast that makes your words more intentional. You are not just speaking out of habit, you're speaking it with purpose. Your words becomes more purposeful. Even when somebody says, "Oh, you're ugly, you're fat, or you're too black, you're too white, you're too skinny, you're too," your mouth is not going to match theirs. You're not going to match them. And when you start to learn how to meditate, definitely doing the talking fast, you will be able to project that, close it out. And that's why I like the one about energy protection, number 2, that says here, you are able to understand when people are weakening your natural shield. Your natural shield. So I would take this time to definitely connect more and really focus more on doing a silent fast for at least an hour, and let me know what you think. Peace.